again, welcome back to the Fire Burns Within channel. So we reached the final part of my musical journey. This is part 6. I'm going to go all the way up to 50 albums that shaped my musical journey from all the way back in 1981. So we reach album 39, and we're still in 2013. We left off in 2013 on the last last album, but we stay in 2013, and this is the first time that I liked this UK heavy metal band. They're called Primitai, and the album is called Rise Again. Now, Primitai is a band that I've grown to love. I mean, they're very much an underground band. They gig a lot around London. I've seen them numerous times. Their albums are so good. They're so underrated. I mean, they really do deserve a bigger following. They just play traditional melodic heavy metal, sometimes power metal, but mainly just melodic heavy metal. Just very catchy songs, very cool riffs. They released an album this year. It was absolutely awesome again. Just a killer album. But this one was the first time I got into Primitai, and it's a standout moment because I'd heard them a little bit before, but I never really got into their debut album, or their second album. But Rise Again is the one that really brought them to my attention and made me become a huge fan of the band. They've released a great album since, but for a standout milestone moment, this one has to take the honors. Okay, we move forward to 2014 and we reach this album, Hammerfall's Re-Evolution, or Revolution. The R is in brackets. This is a big return for Hammerfall. Their previous album was quite an experiment. It wasn't quite what Hammerfall fans wanted, but I think they realized that. They got it out of their system and they returned with a glorious classic Hammerfall album. I really love this one. I think it's an awesome album, one of the best in their discography. They've got a lot of albums. This one is a huge favorite of mine. I really like this one. So many great songs on this. I mean, if you love Hammerfall, you're gonna love this one, the classic Hammerfall. Okay, the next album, I'm moving ahead 1 year, and it's this one, Ghost's Meliora. Now, Ghost is like a hype band. They were I saw them live, believe it or not, supporting Paradise Lost. This was on their first album, and I didn't really like them. I thought they were boring. They didn't sound too good. I don't know. And that album didn't do a lot for me, so I sort of saw Ghost as a bit of a gimmick. I didn't really get into them. Even their second album I didn't really like either. But in 2015 they released Meliora, and I don't know, I was just completely hooked by this. This is again one of those milestone moments with this band. I really became almost a Ghost fan, if you like, and I started going to their gigs. They were playing much bigger venues. They were headlining. They were really becoming huge. I mean, it was really cool to see them live. And this album is still my favorite from theirs to this date. They have one that followed after this I really like as well, Prequel, but not as much as Meliora. Meliora is just an awesome album. It's just it's catchy, but it's so dark. It's mysterious. But it's so melodic as well, so it's easy for someone like me who lives on melodies to enjoy an album like Meliora. Okay, in 2016 this album was released, Sirius Black, Mirror World. Sirius Black is a power metal project band with Urban Breed on vocals. At the time it had Roland Grapow from ex-Halloween on guitars, and it was sort of like a German power metal or European power metal supergroup of sorts, and this album blew me away. I mean, this was a killer album. I absolutely love this. It's a standout power metal release in modern times. it's just a killer album, especially this lead singer Urban Breed. He's got a great voice, very expressive, very melodic. I really enjoy this album, and he's one of the best modern day power metal albums released within, say, the last 5-6 years. Okay, the next album to mention is this one. This one is Harem Scarem's United album. This is easily the best Harem Scarem album ever for me. I mean, I sort of liked a lot of their albums before. I know a lot of people mentioned the first album and Mood Swings as being their bests, but to be honest, this one blows them all away. I mean, I absolutely love United. I love Harry Hess's voice. This fills my melodic rock angle very well. This is just a awesome album. They've released an album since which was not as good as this one. Is good, but is nowhere near as good as United, in my opinion. I just love United. I think it's just an awesome album. It's a big milestone for me again. In melodic rock terms, I really enjoyed this one. Okay, in 2018, Judas Priest released Firepower. This album is just killer. I mean, I didn't really like the Nostradamus album. I liked a little bit of Redeemer of Souls, but the production was not good. The earlier Halford albums are okay, Angel of Retribution, but this album is easily the best album since Painkiller. It's not quite as good as Painkiller is, but production wise, song wise, Halford on form, the band sound energized. This album is absolutely killer. I mean, it tick boxes all the things that people love about Judas Priest. I mean, we're really looking forward to a follow-up to this, but this album, it was just an awesome album. Easily makes this list of albums. Okay, it also released in 2018. We have this one, the best Powerwolf album yet, the last one actually, the Sacrament of Sin. This was the most melodic, the most catchy, the most energetic, the best produced. Everything was on tip-top level. I mean, all their previous albums I love anyway, but this one for me is at the tip-top level, and they're about to release a new one as well, so we'll see how that one turns out. But Sacrament of Sin, it's a big album for me. Just love it too much. It's a killer album. Okay, the next album also released in 2018, different sort of album, and it's this one, Tremonti's A Dying Machine. Now, Mark Tremonti, I mean, I love him in Alter Bridge, but I must admit, his solo work I'm starting to like even more than Alter Bridge. It's a little bit faster, it's a little bit heavier, it's more energetic. I love his voice. I mean, I love Miles Kennedy's voice as well, but I also love Tremonti's voice. I think he's got great vocals. I saw them live twice in the same year. I mean, this album was so popular that they played once in the middle of the year in June, and then they returned in December to play again. So I saw them twice. They're huge venues they play. They're a very popular band now, Tremonti's solo band. I mean, A Dying Machine is just a awesome album. It's a concept album. It's a killer album. It's so heavy, it's so melodic, so many great songs to enjoy. Absolute milestone moment again. Okay, we move 1 year ahead to 2019, and the album I want to mention is this one, Majestica's Above the Sky. This is a catchy as hell melodic power metal album, fronted by Tommy Johansson, who's now the guitarist of Sabaton. This is his own band, of course. They used to be called before they used to be called Rainseed. Now he's switched the name to Majestica. The name switch is, it just suits the music down to the ground. It's majestic, and it's just amazingly catchy power metal. He's a great singer, Tommy. I wish he did more vocals in Sabaton, and some songwriting too, but his own band is awesome, so he's got an avenue to bring out his own music. I'm really looking forward to a follow-up to this, but this is an amazing power metal album. Okay, 3 more albums to mention. This one is next. The Darkness, Easter is Cancelled. Now, The Darkness I've sort of liked here and there over their discography. Their early albums are sort of legendary. I know they're very popular, but I wasn't really a huge fan. I did like them, but not hugely. But this album, The Easter is Cancelled, it's really hooked me in. I mean, I just really got into the songs. They're very melodic. I got into Justin's vocals. I know some people don't like his very high-pitched, whiny vocals, but I got into them. I mean, I just got into them. The songs are catchy, very cool solos as well. He's a great guitarist, as is his brother. Really enjoyed this album. This is a standout album for me from the Darkness career. So, this late on, they're hitting the stride, boys. They're hitting your stride. Okay, 2 albums to mention. One from 2020, and it's this one. It's Dynasty's The Dark Delight. This was my top album of 2020. I just love Dynasty. I've loved them since the very beginning. They've become a more modern, more sort of melodic heavy metal band. They used to be sort of a touch glammy in the early days, but the main reason I love this band so much is because of lead singer Niels Molin. The guy's voice is just phenomenal. He's literally the best melodic modern singer in my opinion. He's also in Amaranth, of course, now, but his own band, Dynasty, they're just amazing to listen to. I love his vocals. I can listen to him all day. All their recent albums are awesome, but The Dark Delight is just a killer release. It's just everything I like about modern melodic heavy metal is in this album, especially Niels Molin. I mean, without him it would just be a good album, but with him in it reaches the stratosphere. It's just a top class listen. And we finally reach 2021. One album to mention from this year, and it's this one, WET or Wet's Retransmission. I rated this at a full 10 out of 10. I mean, I just absolutely love anything Eric does. What can I say? The man can do no wrong. I mean, of course there's other people in this band, Jeff Scott Soto and I forgot his name from a Work of Art. He's also in it. I think he does less of the songwriting than Eric. So Eric is the main man. Jeff on vocals. The songs are just very summery, very catchy, very awesome. This completes my journey. You've heard my musical journey in 50 albums from, say, 1980, 81 up to 2021. Listening to music for 40 years. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this journey. Stay tuned for more as always.